Justice League of America's Vibe, written by Sterling Gates, art by Pete Woods. So, last issue we had Vibe get captured by Argus because he was trying to break out Gypsy. And I feel like there was some other. Oh, Dante was told about it. He figures that his brother's in trouble. So this issue picks up with Agent Gunn talking to his husband, saying like, "Man, I run the circus. I should be able to do something to help Vibe get free. He doesn't deserve the punishment he's under." And Gunn's husband is like, "Okay, but hear me out. Maybe don't go up against Amanda Waller. That sounds like a very bad idea." And it's at this point that their window just crashes open and a soccer ball comes through. And Agent Gunn's like, "Ah, crap, it's him." And of course, it's Dante who's like, "You're going to help me get my brother back, because otherwise," and he pulls out his phone, "I'm going to leak everything about Argus all over the internet. So where's my brother?" And then we cut to Amanda Waller talking to Gypsy. She's, of course, back in containment, and Waller's like, "Yeah, see, you ran. That means you're dangerous, so we're going to lock you up even harder this time." And Gypsy's like, "You don't know the first thing about me." And she's like, "Apparently I know more about you than you know about you if you think that you're not a threat." Wink, I guess, because I don't see how that makes any sense. But regardless, we cut to the front desk of Argus, where Gunn is walking in with this soldier slash dog slash man on a leash, and we see it intercut with the plan that he's making with Dante. And Dante basically says like, "Yeah, no, you guys at Argus, you're good at hiding your tracks, but the one place on the internet that you don't wipe regularly is your own database, and using Cisco's credentials, I got in there, I copied it all over, and have it ready to go. So you're going to help me find my brother." And Gunn's like, "I mean, even if I could, I'm not sure that I could, if you know what I'm saying." And he's like, "No, I have no, what in the hell are you talking about?" But regardless, my brother only joined in to this whole stupid Argus thing because of you, because he trusted you. So you have to help him. And Gunn's like, "Fine, all right, whatever." So we see that the soldier dog thing is being brought in. He's being scanned, and the scanner isn't coming up with anything at first. But then Agent Gunn presses a secret button on his bag, and all of a sudden it goes through, and he's given a subject identifier, and he's like, "All right, we'll go put him in the circus." But then Gunn's like, "Oh, well, hold on. I feel pretty good tonight. I'll take care of it myself. You guys just stay here." So walks him over to the elevator, and we see, of course, it's Dante in some sort of suit that Gunn says that he got way back when he first joined Argus, and he took it home as a trophy back before Amanda Waller ran things. So they walk through the circus, quote unquote, which is, of course, just all the containment cells holding everything else. And we get a full explanation of, they're called subjects. Cisco is subject number 2. Turns out that Armando, Cisco's brother, is designated subject number 1, which makes sense because he was the first person who was impacted by Darkseid's invasion. I did check back to issue 3 or whatever when that guy named Breacher showed up, and he introduced himself as Subject 0. So that's something at the very least. But regardless, as they're walking through the circus, they come across Vibe, who is, of course, under just heavy lockdown, unable to see or move. And Dante's like, "Is he still alive in there?" And he's like, yeah, no, he's fine. Let me just type in my code. And so they type in the code, and then immediately alarm bells start going off. And Dante's like, "Well, that doesn't sound good. Plan B then." And he pulls out this big gun and just blows open the glass where Cisco is. And all the guards show up, and they're like, "All right, everybody down on the ground." "Oh, hey, Director Gunn, what are you doing here?" And he's like, "Hey, guys, this kid just, his finger slipped. Everything's cool. Don't worry about it." But of course, right then, a whole bunch of energy blasts go off, and it's Cisco who's managed to get up, and he's like, "All right, I'm officially pissed off now." So he sees Dante nearby, and he's like, "Dante, hey, how's it going?" And he gets a bit woozy. Dante catches him, and they realize that Agent Gunn has disappeared. He's left the scene because clearly he should not be around at this point. And Dante's like, "Don't worry, bro. I'm going to get you out of here. That's what brothers are for." And then Dante gets shot in the goddamn chest. And Cisco's like, "Oh my God, what?" And Gypsy's watching on. She's like, "Oh my God." And Gunn's like, "Oh my God." And then we realize that apparently Waller ordered them to shoot, but not quite as lethally. And it's like, damn it. All right. Everyone move in, make sure Cisco is taken out. And so Cisco's cradling Dante, and he's like, ah, geez, I think we're really in trouble now. And Cisco's like, oh, they have a good medical wing. He's like, I don't think they use that on intruders. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be left to die here. So then a bunch of mechs come up, and it's like, Cisco, don't use your powers. Stand down. And Cisco's like, oh, here's the thing I learned when I was inside that little tube thing. You guys get it really insulated on the inside because you don't want anyone breaking out, but you never consider anyone breaking in. So he uses his powers to rupture all of the containment cells, and they just do that scene from Cabin in the Woods where all the monsters escape and start attacking the guards. And it's an interesting scene at the very least, but we see that Gypsy has managed to meet back up with them as he's now leading his brother out. And as he's doing so, he starts losing control a little bit. He's getting energy blasts. He feels like he's being pulled out to something. Gypsy tells him, like, look, do what you did before. Just focus on me. That's all it takes. Just, quick little focus. But he cannot. He cannot focus. And we start seeing huge rifts in the universe. We see all these different realities and stuff like that. And finally, we see a speech bubble come out from nowhere and a flaming scythe rip through reality. And out comes this dude who we find out soon is named Rupture. And he's like, oh, I've been looking for so long. I finally have found her. And Amanda Waller hears this and it's like, all right, he's here for Darkseid's daughter, who we have locked up. Everyone on deck. Everyone deal with that. And so we see Rupture attacking some of the monsters as Gypsy stares on. It's like, oh crap, it's him. His name's Rupture. He came from my homeworld. He's like the worst, and he's hell-bent on taking away all freedom in all realities, all dimensions. He's like super Hitler. So yeah, he's apparently, she believes that he's definitely there for her. And so Gypsy starts to run away, but we see Rupture manages to catch a glimpse of her. Cisco gets in the way and is like, oh, don't worry, Gypsy, I'll save you. And Gypsy's like, no, Cisco, don't be a hero. But Rupture hears that and says, Cisco, wait, hold on, what, Cisco? And he takes off his mask, and it's Armando. It's the first brother who has apparently become Rupture. Shock and awe, soap opera twist. So here's the thing. This book goes till issue 10. That is the final issue, is issue 10. This issue feels like Sterling Gates just got the news. It feels like that we're really picking up the pace for what may have been a much longer series overall. And we're like, okay, we just very quickly got to do all the reveals. The brother is still alive. The other brother dies. We got to go through all that stuff. Because this first half of this issue did feel pretty well paced. They break into this place. They have this whole big plan as to how they're going to break him out. But then as soon as he types in the code, it just feels like everything moves their breakneck speed. And we're just like, nope, we've got 100 things we need to do before we're done with this book. So it's kind of a book of two halves in that regard, in that it feels very rushed at the end, whereas the first half does feel pretty good. That being said, I do enjoy all the monsters being released and just attacking the guards, because I'm sure that if you had a deep enough DC lore, you'd recognize all these people. You would know exactly who these all are. I, however, don't. I recognized a few of them. One of them was Pariah from Crisis on Infinite Earths, which, frankly, he's breaking all the continuity of the New 52 just by being here, but whatever, I guess. But no, it's a fine issue. It just feels like all of a sudden we're moving a lot faster, whereas this book usually had a pretty leisurely pace up till now. We're kind of sprinting towards the end now, so I'm curious to see how the next 4 issues really pan out. I'm not saying it's going to be bad, but I am a little bit apprehensive. So for right now, I'd say this one is probably it's a 6.5. It's okay, not great, but still very good.